Hi guys, I just want to start this video off by saying thank you to everyone that tuned into my previous Get Ready With Me video. Thank you for all the love and the support. It's greatly appreciated. Now, I know I'm looking a little hip right now, but trust me, it's going to get way better in the end of this video. Now, I'm going to be taking my MAC Studio Fix Concealer in the color NC48, and this is just going to be used as an eyeshadow primer and base. As you can see, I'm taking a flat concealer brush and I'm just going to blend this concealer out. And then you're going to see me later going with a dense foundation brush, and I'm just going to be using that again to blend out the concealer. Taking my Morphe 35C palette, I'm using the yellow eyeshadow on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade. Taking the Saharan palette by Juvia's Place, I'm going to be dipping into the orange shade, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to show it to you guys. But I'm going to be dipping into that color, and I'm going to be using it as another transition shade. So this is just going to be right at the bottom of the yellow color. Okay, so I'm going to be dipping in the same palette, and I'm going with the color that's in the top left corner. I believe it's called Sokoto. But again, I'm not really sure how to pronounce these names, but it's kind of a pink, almost salmon type of color. And I'm just going to be using that on top of the orange just to brighten up the crease. Okay, so taking a small dense brush, well, later you'll see me actually get a bigger brush, and I'm going to be dipping into the Nubian 2 palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm going to be taking the colors Jezebel and Kenya, and these are just going to darken up my crease to make it more defined, because again, we're doing a cut crease, and I just want to make sure that that cut is really defined and it has some shadows like really accentuating my eyes. So excuse the little black mark on my brush, I accidentally dropped it in my palette, but I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush and I'm just using this to blend out all the shadows to make sure they're nice and seamless. I don't want any lines of demarcation, I just want to make sure everything is nice and blended. Okay, so here's where my camera had died on me. So I actually did the same method I did for my previous video. So I'm taking my NC45 concealer from MAC, and I'm just going to apply the concealer on my lid. It just looks straight up to the sky, and that's how I know where my cut is going to be. So I'm just straightening and sharpening up the lines. I'll put a more in-depth tutorial on cut creases in another video, but here you just see me sharpening up the lines, making sure everything is clean. Okay, so now I'm using the Magic palette by Juvia's Place, and this is the color Cozy, and I'm just patting that onto the concealer to make sure that the concealer is set and that it doesn't move. Because y'all, I hate that. Like when you know your concealer is just creasing, like that is not cute. Okay, so now going back in with that yellow shade, I'm going to be patting it on the outer corner of my lid. Going back into the Sahara and Juvia's Place palette, I'm taking the color Sokoto and I'm just going to be patting that right alongside of the yellow shade. Now I'm just going back and forth between the yellow color and the color Sokoto, and I'm just making sure that everything is just gradually going from lightest to darkest. Dipping back into the Nubian 2 palette, I'm taking the colors Jezebel and Kenya, and I'm just going to define my outer corner. So those dark colors are going to give a lot of dimension into the look. Okay, so since I don't have a black eyeliner for myself, I'm actually using a black lipstick from ColourPop, and it's called Friday. So what I'm using is I'm using that color on a small angled eyeliner brush, and I like this brush because it gets me a very precise line and I can just take my time and don't have to worry about any mistakes. Okay, so here's a little tip when you're doing your eyeliner. After you're finished and everything is dry, you're going to take your concealer brush and you're going to go along the underside of the eyeliner just to make sure that all the edges are nice and straight. I don't know why I didn't show this. I should have shown it. I don't know if I turned my camera off. But yeah, so that's just a little tip for you guys. After wiping away all of the eyeshadow and all the concealer on my face, I moisturize with the Josie Maran Argan Oil. Then I prime my face with the MAC Studio Fix Plus Setting Spray. I actually like to highlight my under eyes first before and color correct before I put on my foundation because I like my under eyes to be really light, and I also want to just cover up all the dark marks. So I'm going in with my NC45 and just putting that all under my eyes. Then I'm taking the LA Pro Girl red color corrector and I'm just going to go over any dark spots that I have. Okay, so let me tell y'all something. This right here, this sponge right here is the holy grail of sponges. If you do not have this sponge, you're missing out. So this is the Real Techniques extra large sponge, and I could not find this anywhere, and I actually got this as a gift, which I love. So I'm just going to be taking a damp sponge and just pressing that concealer into my highlighted areas. Then I'm going in with a small dense concealer brush, and I'm just using that to make sure that it's blended around my eyes and around my nose. Just making sure everything is nice and smooth. Okay, so I have combination skin. So I get oily around my T-zone and the rest of my face is dry. So I use my argan oil as a moisturizer. Then before I put my foundation on, I actually powder the highlighted area, so around my T-zone. The reason why I do this is because I want the powder to absorb all the oils before it gets to my foundation. That way I'll have full coverage foundation, I won't be shiny as much throughout the day, and I barely have to do any retouches. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Smooth in the color 360 Mocha. The reason why I'd like to use the Dewy Smooth rather than the matte is because I feel like the matte product makes my problem areas more prominent. Taking a flat foundation brush, I'm just going to be dabbing in that foundation. The reason why I dab in the product is because I don't want the brush to wipe away the foundation. I just want to make sure that it's full coverage and that it stays on my face. Now I'm going back in with my sponge just to make sure that everything is nice and blended. Taking my Nika K contour palette, I'm just going to be applying this around the hollows of my cheeks and on the sides of my nose. Dipping into my Jeffree Star's 24 karat gold palette, I'm using the color King Tut as my highlighter, so that will be on the tops of my cheeks, the bridge of my nose, and my cupid's bow. Now I'm lining my lips with the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick called Dominatrix. Now in the inside of my lips, I'm going to be using the ColourPop liquid lipstick in the color Cheat. Now I'm going to be finishing off the lipstick with a clear gloss. Just giving you guys a little close-up. Don't mind my facial expressions in this part. Your girl was filming herself a little too much, but I might as well keep it in the video. Okay, so I recorded an outro, but it didn't come out as expected. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for a vlog. Thanks! Bye!